Hello and welcome again to the Jayce YouTube channel. So glad that you're here. Today I'm going to be talking about why serving is important. Even if you're a leader, why serving is important. And not just to serve, but also help others to be able to serve. So that's what we're talking about today. If you want to hear that, go ahead and like and subscribe and comment down below. Share this video. Would love to do it. Let's get into this. So my context is a pastor in church, and so that's what I'm speaking to, but I think the principles for this could apply in a variety of applications, whether you are a parent or whether you are a business owner or what have you. But I want to highlight the importance of serving, especially within the context of church. Ephesians 4:12 says to equip the saints for the work of ministry, for building up of the body. And it goes down in verse 15 and 16 says this, we are to grow up in every way into Him who is the head, into Christ, from whom the whole body, joined and held together by every joint with which it is equipped, when each part is working properly, makes the body grow so that it builds itself up in love. So the bottom line is, it's saying here that all the saints, that the leaders are to equip the saints, that's people who are Christians, to do the ministry, and that as each part is working and doing their role, it actually helps the church to grow and each of us to grow and advance the kingdom of God. So if all of us are not using our giftings and working properly, then the church itself isn't working properly. We are all called to use part of our giftings and callings and talents and time and resources to be a part of the local church, and that impacts us, helps us to grow, but it also advances the kingdom of God. So I want to read you a quote from Francis Chan's book, Multiply. Multiply is a book I've done a review on, and it talks about what does this disciple look like, because oftentimes what people call a disciple of Christ, many of the people who say that they're a Christian aren't actually living like Christ. And one of the ways that that shows up is how we use our time, our talents, and our skills. Because a lot of times people treat church as something that we go to get, but we often don't give very much. This quote is powerful. You don't want to listen to it if you don't want to be challenged. But if you want to be challenged, here's a powerful quote. The mission of your church is too important to leave to everyone else. The moment you begin to believe that your church can be healthy while you sit on the sidelines, you have given up on God's plan of redemption. See, it's important that we understand that the church is God's plan A to fix our world. It is the church that Jesus chose to build. He says, I'm going to build my church as to bring him forth and proclaim his name. The church is his plan A. We all know, if we're honest, that our world has problems. But the problem is that government's not going to fix all those things. Social reform isn't going to fix all the problems in our world. More education isn't going to fix all of our issues. More money, more jobs aren't going to fix all of our problems. Now, as Christians, we should help improve all of those areas. However, nothing will change if Jesus isn't at the forefront. And that's why Jesus chose the church to bring forth redemption to the people, to bring forth the message of redemption and Jesus. So you are the church. If you are a Christian, you are part of the church. Often we point the finger and say the church should be doing this, the church should be doing that. Here's the problem. You are the church if you are a Christian. And we are called to do that and act. And our mission as a church is so important that this quote is saying that if you've chosen to sit on the sidelines, that we've given up the hope of redemption. We've kind of given up. So the reason why it's important if you're a leader is to understand why you're leading, because as you serve, it's helping you grow spiritually. And you're also helping people, if you're helping them to get on a team at church, you're helping them to grow spiritually. Francis Chan's quote goes on to say this, the goal of the church is to grow up in every way into the likeness of Christ. But the church will never reach this goal unless each part is working properly. This doesn't mean that we will all function in exactly the same way, but it does mean that we all have a responsibility. It also means that if you are not active in the church, you are hurting your brothers and sisters. One paralyzed leg forces the rest of the body to work twice as hard to make up for legs inactivity. God has empowered you with unique spiritual abilities or gifts. Together we function as one body. Until you and every person in your church are actively ministering to the people around you, your area will not have an accurate picture of what the church was created to be. That is a powerful quote. that we will not function properly as long as other people are on the sidelines. But the opposite is true, that when you partner with other Christians, as we see each other as partners in ministry, there's nothing that we can accomplish through Christ, but we are called to use our giftings, our talents, to advance the kingdom of God. And as we do that, we grow spiritually. Jesus came not to be served, but to serve. So if you were a leader, especially specifically in your church, then your job isn't just to get somebody and recruit them to do a task. That's not the reason why you ask people to be on a team. That's not the reason why you ask people to do puppets or to sing or to greet. The reason why you get people to serve on a team is twofold. One, it will help them grow. And two, it helps your church to function in a healthy way where it actually advances the kingdom of God. Because as Francis Chan says, until we are functioning together, our area, the people around us, our community, even our own families, will not see what a church was fully made to be. Because we're limited, we're hindered, we're parts of the body, and if we're not connected, then we are disabled. So that's a leadership principle that I want to share with you. And because you can't truly lead unless you see serving as an important part of discipleship. It's not the only part, there's lots of other parts, but right now we're focusing on serving as it's being vitally important. So share this with your teams, encourage and ask yourself these questions. How will this impact me as a leader? How can I help other people serve? Is there somebody around me that needs to be serving? How can I approach them? Look up one of the other videos because we give you other tips on how you actually invite people to be a part of your team. Again, if you want more of these videos, go ahead and click and subscribe, share the video. We'd love to see you more as we do more of these types of content. See you in the future.